everyone. I'm Fred Oakman here with Mr. Jake Peters. You're listening to PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 373, where we dive into our thoughts on all things PlayStation. Before we jump in, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome, where you can also watch the video version of the show. You can check out our trophy list on PSN. I'm Anchorless_81, and Jake is JakeSaw01. Send your thoughts to psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Share the show with friends, and don't forget to rate us. For just $1 on Patreon or a quarter a week, you can join the one and only $1 club and receive a free die-cut vinyl sticker and a shout-out on the show. And remember, if you like our podcast, it does us a lot of good if you can like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. We air every Wednesday for non-patrons of the show, and if you are a patron of the show, sometimes you get early access. With that out of the way, Jake, how are you doing today in your beautiful new room?
I'm doing good. I apologize. I'm like, I have everything backwards to the way it was upstairs, and it's really fucking me up. So I'm trying to get things kind of reorganized. So if I make some microphone sounds, I apologize. But so basically, we finished our office, and I want to make use of the old room. So even though I don't have a new desk yet, which I'm planning on getting, I have migrated my old desk downstairs, and so because of the way it's sitting, I got to move shit around, and the keyboard tray broke on it whenever I moved it. So I have my keyboard like on the desktop, but the arm for the microphone is really close to it. So I apologize if I'm like banging the fucking microphone or whatever. But other than that, I'm doing okay. The room is pretty good. Although I will say there is a distinct issue with finding the fucking kind of desk that I want. Like, I don't know if you've ever, like, how often you shop for office desks. But the biggest problem that I'm finding is that almost every single desk you find is like only 18 to 20 inches deep. And so what ends up happening is that you've got like your keyboard and then the monitor right in front of it. And I don't like sitting that close to my monitor. So what I want is a desk that's deeper, that I can move my monitor back. But here's the thing. I also don't want one that has a riser on it for the monitor, which is like almost every single one of them has. Because I like to have a monitor that I can move up and down and stuff. And if you have a riser on it, you can only take it down so far. So, because a lot of times I'll like, slouch like I'm relaxing, and then I'm like looking up at my monitor and don't want to do that. So I've been on this struggle recently where I've been trying to find a desk that fit like all of my needs, and it's not happening. So I think I need to go to like, I really don't want to go to a furniture store because I know they're going to be like insanely expensive, but find something that's better. I don't know. I probably just need to buy something and just deal with it. I think I found one that I like, but it's one of those things where it's like everything you order online, it's like, is it going to look good in the room? I don't know if the color is going to match, because I don't know if you can make it out in the video, but we stained the molding.
I see
like
that.
A dark,
looks nice.
Like a dark oak. It looks great, but finding a piece of furniture that has the same color profile as like a stained wood is a lot more difficult than you'd think, because there's a million different colors of stain. And I don't really want to have just like a black desk, if that makes any sense. So I don't know. It's a whole thing. And then outside of that, doing okay. I got the at this point seemingly annual collections notice for fucking taxes, which is, so we have this problem. So you're in Meadville Township, or are you in Westmead?
I'm in Meadville City.
Meadville City. So you have to pay a per capita tax, right?
Yep.
Every year.
Yep.
And do you like basically just get the bill and then you just go online and you pay it? Or do you have to like send them a check?
I send a check.
So I live in this really tiny township, and they did this really fucked up thing like 2 years ago where the per capita tax, it's only $15 a year that we have to pay this, which
bad.
is whatever. It's annoying, but I got to pay it. But in my township, what they did was they split it in half to where it's in like a third and 2/3, where 2/3 of it goes to the school district and 1/3 of it goes to the county. The problem is that these fucking assholes made it so that the 2/3 that go to the school district, you can pay online. The 1/3 that you pay to the county, you have to send a check into. So inevitably what happens is either I pay one and forget the other, or I pay them both and one of them doesn't get logged in the system, and then I get a fucking bill from the collections agency that's like, we're gonna garnish your wages for a $5 fucking tax bill. And it's like, because like I just got a collections notice today that's like, you didn't pay this per capita tax, and they word it all like, you refused to pay this bill and all this shit. And it's like a $5 tax bill that now is gonna cost me $35 because my payment got lost in the sauce somewhere. And it's like, and I have no recourse to be like, I paid this, because I have no receipt for it, because it was a check that I mailed in.
You know what I do?
So if it got, what's that?
I take a photograph, and it logs the date and time that I take the picture. I take a picture of the check, of the envelope, a stamped envelope with the address, right in front of the UPS box or the USPS box before I mail it. Mm-hmm. That way,
that's a good idea.
If anything like that ever happens, I'm like, here I am on this day. I went so far one year to take video of me talking to the camera. Like, okay, I'm mailing the thing. Here's the date and time. Watch me put it in there. Here it is. And then I drop it in. And then that would be more than enough evidence, I think.
It's just insane. I mean, yes, I agree with you.
You shouldn't have to.
It's insane that I even have to do this. It's like, it's like it's part of your property tax or whatever, but like it's not garnished with like your escrow if you do that, which we do. So it's like you got to pay it separately, which is fine. I mean, it's all fine, but it's like, I feel like they insist on making it as hard as fucking possible so that you fuck up and they can collect more money out of you.
Yeah.
Because I know, because this has happened like 3 times since I've lived here, 3 or 4 times. It's like, I just go online and I pay this bill, and it costs me 7 times as much as the original tax bill, but it doesn't get reported on my credit report or anything like that. Like, but they scare the shit out of you with it, and it just.
I'm surprised, man, like when you pay it online, they don't charge you an additional $2 convenience fee or something.
It very well might. I don't know. I just know that it says, like, when I look at I got the letter in front of me. It says $5 is the tax amount plus a 50-cent penalty from the county, and then the collection fee from the collection agency is $25. And then I'm assuming that if I pay it online, they're going to charge me a convenience fee of like $3 or something.
Yeah.
So, or $5. So it's going to end up costing me literally 7 times.
Well, pay your taxes.
What it would have cost. I guess. Like, I'm literally like I was so hot and bothered when I got home and got this letter that I was like, I'm going to call the fucking tax collector when I get to work tomorrow and all this shit. But it's like, is it really worth it?
It's not going to go anywhere.
To call them and be like, oh, you know, what the fuck happened to my taxes? And they'll be like, oh, I never got your check. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, end of story. And I'm just glad that like this type of shit doesn't happen with like my property taxes, where it's like, oh, you were going to pay $1,000 or $2,000 tax bill. You're, you know, an extra $250 you have to pay.
Yeah. Because
it's late or something. It's like, I don't know, man. But other than that, I'm doing fine. Yesterday, the weather was beautiful. It was like 70 degrees and sunny. Today, snowing. But other than that, doing just Doing just dandy. My cousin reached out to me a couple days ago. I think it was Sunday, because it was beautiful on Sunday as well. I spent most of the Sunday outside, like mowing and rolled the lawn and mowed and like hauled some wood and like did some shit. Really enjoying the weather and being able to be outside. But my cousin got a hold of me because the weather was nice. He's like, "Hey man, the weather's really nice. I can't stop thinking about getting out and riding." He's like, "We should chat sometime about going on a motorcycle ride or whatever." And so that's in my brain now too. So yeah, I'm pretty excited that the weather. I mean, and you know, like I don't know if you did anything yesterday or Sunday, but like we've talked about this ad nauseum. Like it just feels so good being outside and just the weather not being terrible.
Yeah.
So glad to have it. How about you?
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing. I just doing lots of shit at work and doing I don't know, not really music life is going to start kicking in here in May. I've got some gigs booked. Got added to the Edinburgh Art Music Festival solo, which is nice. But that's the first weekend in May. And, you know, Easter, this is coming up on Easter weekend. I don't know. I'm not doing anything good. Just, I'm trying to think. I need a new car bad.
Yeah, I was just I was thinking about you on Saturday because about how you're talking about needing a new car or whatever. And I got our one vehicle inspected. I have a Suburban, and it's not a new one. It's like 10 years old or 11 years old. Yeah. And I got it inspected on Saturday at Community, which is like our local Chevy dealer. And they're like, everything is good except you need brakes and rotors all the way around.
There you go.
And I'm like, okay, I can jive with that. Brakes and rotors, not usually the cheapest date, but it's just a wear item. There's no major things going wrong or anything. And then they're like, I was like, okay, so what'll that be? And they're like, $1,400. I was like, you can go fuck yourself. They like went back to, I was like, I think I'm going to take it. Just can you, like, ring me up or whatever. I'm not saying this. Yeah, okay, whatever. So like while she was doing my paperwork, I Googled it on my phone. What did like the parts cost to do this? And it's like between $400 or $500 for parts.
Yeah.
So they're gonna charge me $1,000
to change your brakes and rotors.
For probably 1 to 2 hours of labor. And I'm just like, it's no wonder car dealers have such a bad rap for service. And then I was thinking of like, and it made me like, I was thinking about you because you've been having recently all these troubles with your car. And I'm like sitting there in the lobby waiting for them to spec the Suburban. And I'm like, this thing's 11 years old. It's got 160,000 miles on it. And I'm like, if something if this thing doesn't pass inspection and it's a major bill, like I can't afford to replace this vehicle.
Yeah.
And so like I escaped for this year, but I feel you.
You got to bite the bullet sometimes. And some, you know, like to me, the $1,000 fix to get my car inspected in Pennsylvania beat the shit out of a $600 a month car payment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But the problem I'm in right now is that I had some boots in my now for the listeners, I'm driving a 16-year-old car. It has 145,000 miles on it. It's a Toyota, and it will go easily another 100,000, no doubt in my mind. But the body's rusted. I reached back to grab some boots, and the floor was just soaked. Just because it's so rotted underneath my car. Like, it's just fucking rotted. And it's just like, it sucks that we live in an area where that happens to vehicles because this car is rock steady. Like, it's so reliable. I've never had mechanical issues with it, ever. It's only been surface level rust body shit that's ruining it. And it just sucks. So
I think that, like, if you get... like if you were to buy a new vehicle and from day one every year you got it undercoated,
yeah,
it would probably but that's the thing is like I never did it either. So like I'm lucky my Mazda has like it's got like stainless steel and plastic paneling on the whole underside of it. So like there's almost no rust on that. But dude, the Suburban is and Sarah's car they're absolutely fucking rusted underneath of them just from driving them around in the wintertime.
Well, the problem is tough. Well, I bought that car new, and I remember reading that like if I got it oiled, it would void the warranty.
Really?
Yeah. You weren't allowed
That's insane.
Because a lot of people, when they do the oiling, sometimes they it depends on how it's done, but they don't want you throwing oil all over the bottom of it. And I think some people drill holes, and oil in these holes and stuff. Some people do. Not everybody. Yeah. But they really fucking oil the shit out of the bottom of these things to keep the salt and rust from happening. And it does work, but I knew with mine that if I did it, I was gonna get ripped. So I've kept it as long as I can, and my car is a hatchback, so it sits really low to the ground to begin with. So there's not a grain of salt that doesn't find its way to the bottom of my car.
Yeah.
It's just how it works. So I'm in this pinch now where I got to start looking at cars, and I really
Toyota still has a few vehicles that are really cheap.
Yeah.
Like the
Yaris is still cheap. It's like $19,000 brand new.
Can you still get it?
Yeah.
I was just thinking because I was just thinking since you do all this stuff, they have a crossover version of the Corolla that's only like 24, which is pretty awesome. Now I don't know if that's all-wheel drive or not, but even still, I mean, they have like all-wheel drive. They have four-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive versions of it. But like Toyota is one of the most reliable brands that exists.
Oh, they're amazing.
And they still have some of the cheapest offerings that you can get.
Yeah.
So, but it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, I get like, what sort of your needs are and everything.
Well, I'm getting to a point in life where I want something a little more reliable. Not more reliable, but something a little bigger with all the driving I do for work now, and something that I could throw a hitch on and tow some shit. So I was looking at the Highlander, and that fucking thing is...
those things are nice.
Yeah, like a used one's going to set you back. Like a 2023 used Highlander is going to cost you like $37,000, and that's with like 30,000 miles on it. So you can't find any vehicles these days. What I want to do is get something with a tow package, and I was looking, and I was looking at the Kia Tellurides, and those are decent. But I hear that every single model of the Telluride up through all of 2024 has had engine issues where they've had to do recalls and stuff. So if you're buying used, you don't know whether that has been serviced or fixed or not. So it leaves you kind of up a creek, and you got to buy a 2025 probably, and those are expensive as shit. And then I looked at the Sorrentos like Nate has, and they're 4-cylinder, but the 2023 and up, the SX version can tow 3,500 pounds. And my trailer's about 1,000, and I'll never have gear that weighs 2,500 pounds. So I don't think I will.
You think that do you know that covered trailer is 1,000 pounds? Like, is there a weight tag?
I looked it up on Pace American. Yeah, it's about 800 or 900 pounds, that trailer I'm on.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Yeah. So you could definitely probably get away with that. I mean, you could even haul a motorcycle in there if you wanted, or move basically like couches and shit, appliances, whatever you wanted with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
So Sorrento can tow 3,500.
I mean, it would probably. The Sorrento would probably argue with you once you get towards that 3,500 pounds, but it would do it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, because the SX has that turbo engine or something in it. It's got some sort of turbo something, that gives it a little extra shit when it tows. But you can get a used Sorrento. Well, the Sorrento Sports are cheaper. We're not here to talk about cars, but the Sorrento Sports are cheaper, the Sportages and stuff. But once you get into like the SX territory, which are spec'd up a little bit more for towing, they're up around the $30,000 range, So if not more, for used ones. You know, here I'm looking at a 2023 Kia Sorento SX, 20,000 miles for $33,000.
That's the thing, though, man. I mean, it's really difficult to find a vehicle worth driving for under 30 grand anymore.
Yeah,
it's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it is what it is.
It does suck. And I heard from other people that the Sorento doesn't handle super well in the snow, not as good as a Telluride will.
Is that what Nate says?
No, someone I work with had a Sorento, and now they're driving a Telluride. It was a woman, and that's not derogatory or punitive. She loves Tellurides. And she said, well, I had a Sorento one year, and it did not handle. It did not feel like my Telluride. I'm thinking, well, the Telluride's like a $15,000 more vehicle, you know, in price. You get what you pay for, but I can't imagine that the Sorrento's very bad. They look nice, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that I need one, but I got to start looking. And with all this tariff shit happening, I'm just like, I'm already I'm already swimming against the current with everything going on. But I'm just waiting for the next fucking issue to drop. But I got to figure out this car situation. But outside of that, I've been kind of looking at the used car market. So if listeners have any suggestions for a used car with good mileage, you know, I'm all ears. That can tow some shit. I don't know brands, you know. I'm really not looking to get a Chevy or anything like that. I don't know. From what I understand, they're not as reliable. I'm looking for something really reliable. I don't want to fuss with it too much. But I'm trying to think what else. We didn't do Hero Quest over the weekend. I got some time in with gaming. I took a walk. That's what I did yesterday. I went for a walk. It was nice to get out. I put a little bit of weight on over the wintertime, so I got to start working on my diet and getting back down. I do it every year, but I've been slacking this year. But it was nice to get out. I walked like 2.5 miles. Went out and just kind of took in the sights and checking the sun out, you know. It felt good. But I don't know. We'll talk about games we're playing. I put some more hours into Octopath Traveler 2. Not a whole lot. I probably put about 4 or 5 hours in this past week. And I'm making progress, but my characters are all under-leveled for their next quest, so it's just grinding again. So this game seems to have these moments where it's just like you can cruise and you can play their missions, and it's fun, and the story's developing, and then like it comes crashing to a halt while you just have to grind and fight monsters. And it's just like it's awful. You know, but I love the game still. I advocate for it. I think it's good. The other thing is I have been watching the Pirates baseball. I forgot to talk about that. So they beat the Nationals last night. It's really cool. Baseball is one of those things where the Pirates record is not good. It's like 6-11 or something, 6-10 right now. But they haven't been getting the bats going. They haven't been able to score. Their defenses look generally pretty good. Their pitching looks okay, but they just can't put up numbers. And McCutcheon, he's an old school Pirate guy. He left for a bit. He got traded back to the team. He's on like a 1-year contract the last couple years. He's kind of like the morale guy. You know, he's hanging out in the dugout. They put him in every once in a few games. Sometimes he comes in to pinch hit. But he's got the right attitude. He's a great right fielder. And he had a great diving catch. It was funny. He has a Golden Glove. All the guys on the team are much younger than him. And he had this amazing diving catch. And he's laying on his stomach. And he just looks back at the center fielder, who's Cruz is his last name. And Cruz is this young, tall guy. He's fantastic. He's great. They must have had some conversations about, Golden Glove awards, all this stuff, and Kutch made this awesome diving catch, and he looks back at Cruz and he just points to his glove, like the mark that's like. I think if you're a Golden Glove winner, you get like an insignia or something on your glove, and he's holding the ball. And he looks back at him and he points at the fucking thing, his teammate, and they both started laughing, and he was asked at the end of the game why he pointed at his glove, and he goes, "Oh no, that wasn't intended for anybody but Cruz." It was just for him. He needed to know who he needs to be watching to learn how to play ball. And it's just like they always razz each other. And they've been on such a shitty streak that before the game last night, where they played the Washington Nationals and won like 10-3 or something, Kutch bought these necklaces that connect with like a magnet, and they're black and gold. It's just like string or yarn. It's some sort of fabric. They're nice looking. And I remember back in the day when they were really good, he always had that necklace. While he played, no one knew what it was or where he got it from. And before the game last night, he bought everybody one of these necklaces. So the entire team had this fucking necklace on. It was like a rally cap. It's so early in the season, but as soon as they started hitting the balls, they would just show Kutch and he'd be holding the necklace up, and that became their thing. They'd all hit it and they'd be like, they're accrediting the necklace for their playing. And baseball is such mental gymnastics because it's such a mind game. It's you versus the hitter, and when the ball's coming at you, you have to catch it. Don't get in your head about it. It's like golf. It's a very how to do the thing, but there's so much pressure that it's easy to mess up. And hitting 300 in baseball, 30% is outstanding. It's outstanding. So the fact that these guys were just rocking the Nationals with these necklaces, it's just he is a team leader. Everyone loves McCutchen, and yeah, dude, just the fact that he bought these necklaces on a whim and gave them to everybody, and it seemed to turn morale around on the team for the game, and everybody was just killing it. They're playing right now, and I wish I could watch it because I'm sure they all have these necklaces, and it's going to be hilarious. But I hope to hell they kick ass one more time at least. But I'm just playing Octopath Traveler.
So I caught a little bit of that game earlier today because towards the end of the day at work, I logged on to SMP 360 to cancel my subscription because I have it for hockey and hockey's over, so I'm not going to keep paying for it over the summer because I'm not. Baseball is intriguing, but it's just not my sport. So
yeah.
But I canceled it, and you know how when you cancel subscriptions, usually they'll give you the remainder of your month or whatever before they shut it off.
Okay.
And it didn't say that, so I was and I just paid for it 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So I was I hope they didn't shut me off. So I was oh, the Pirates are playing. I was at work. I just turned it on real quick, and I saw that I think they were stomping the Nationals again today.
Today?
As I turned it on. Unless it was a repeat.
And that might have been a repeat because the game I don't think started till 6:30 today.
Oh, okay, then maybe it was a replay of yesterday's game.
Yeah.
Because I just logged into whatever. It just said Pirates baseball. I just clicked on it, and but yeah, I did see that they won 10-4 or 3 or whatever the hell it was. It's pretty awesome until they'll hopefully they need to learn how to just string it together and not freaking choke in the second half of the season.
I agree.
But anyway, we can continue on. So me, nothing much to report. I'm still playing. I think I'm getting pretty close to the end of Robocop. The more I play this game, the more I like it. It's really good. I highly recommend anybody that's even a little bit interested in it that has PS Plus, just freaking play it or just try it, download it and try it out because it's so much fun. I mean, I was mentioning last week how you can get these motherboards that allow you to augment your main pistol that has infinite ammo, and then your second weapon is just whatever you pick up. So today I got this, or yesterday or this morning, I don't remember. I got this this motherboard that I put all of the little widgets in it in order to get me this. I don't remember what the name of the perk is, but it makes it so that the gun normally has unlimited ammo, but you still have to reload. It still has a magazine, so every single time you have to reload every so many rounds, but you have unlimited reserve ammo. But I unlocked this perk today that it's full auto and I never have to reload the gun.
Oh wow.
So it's just constant stream of bullets, which is fucking crazy. I mean, it's not the most powerful weapon you can get, but it's just you could do these things that are just kind of fun.
Yeah.
With it, which is really interesting. And then the there's some really neat like detective type little side missions you get to do. I did one like where I solved a murder, which was kind of cool. And I did another one where I was like responding to like a like guy came into the police station because nobody was answering his dispatch calls, and you find out that there's a conspiracy where they were putting like this is like a minor spoiler, but it's just kind of interesting where like there's a district that OCP doesn't care about. So if any call comes in from that district, you come to find out that they just send it to an answering machine and instead of like sending it through to the dispatcher. So like there are like all these cool, like on top of the main story mission, which is, it's interesting. It's just kind of like whatever, but like the gunplay is actually really fun in it. And yeah, so nothing much else to say about it other than I am completely blown away by this like ostensibly B or single A or double A tier game and how much fun I'm having with it. And I really do. I mean, I don't know how the game's going to end, but I hope that they find a way to make some kind of a sequel or something like this, something like that for it, because I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, right. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Oh, I will say also what I did do was I had, well, it's related to News Point. We'll get to that, but I did install a new update for Space Marines 2. That's all. So we'll leave it there. So let's get into the news. There's a couple news points this episode. Every episode we talk about the news, different things that are hitting and tracking. I'll say this while I'm thinking about it. Because of your new room, your voice is a little echoey, so if the listeners hear that, I think that's all it is. Don't mess with your audio settings. I adjusted the audio volume, but they might hear just a little bit of echo. It's not like an echo, it's not like really noticeable. It's just noticeable on my end. I don't know if it's recording.
It's literally basically an empty room.
Oh, that's probably what it is.
With like tall ceilings and wood floors, so it's probably just echoey.
Wait till you get a rug in there, yeah. All right, so anyways, if the listeners are wondering why Jake sounds different, it's the new room. First news point, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is out April 17th. We're recording this on the 15th, so by the time this episode airs, the Great Circle will be out for PS5. And it's getting pretty nice reviews over on Push Square, saying that it's possibly the best version of the game. I don't know how much that's true or how much that matters. I think nowadays, if you get a game, you're pretty much going to get a good version of it. You know, it depends on how much of a stickler you're going to be for graphics and all that crap. But Jake, we already talked about this game a little bit. You played it, you liked it. You just said be warned. It's not what you'd expect necessarily out of machine games. So I'm excited for this. I don't think I'm going to jump right into it. Do you have anything else about this release date? Do you care?
No, 17th, what is that, Friday? This coming Friday? Thursday, that's a weird date. Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is fucking awesome. So if you're someone who was interested in it on PlayStation, but you didn't have an Xbox or whatever, I definitely recommend it. I just advise people to keep an open mind about it whenever they go to play it, because it is very much like an Indiana Jones kind of sim. Like it's not like a run and gun kind of game. You're doing a lot of like sneaking, investigating, and puzzle solving, and yeah, there's guns and stuff, but a lot of it is stealth, and it's very much like a Dishonored style kind of game, and but very Indiana Jones. The imagery is amazing. I particularly really love the Egypt map. There's something about it that just really, really does it for me. But love it. So if people are interested in it, I definitely recommend picking it up.
Okay, cool. I love it. Next news point. Back to full circle what I was just talking about. Space Marines 2 got another big update. The update is free, and there's a trailer out for it. The update features a new operation, a new weapon called the Inferno Pistol, and more cosmetics. The 7.0 patch is going to include prestige ranks for those familiar with the Call of Duty naming conventions. And the update is called Trygon, Trygon, and is available now. So anybody interested and you're still playing Space Marines 2, this update seems to be somewhat, I don't know, big, somewhat of a larger thing. Jake, anything? Nice. Are you interested at all about getting back into Space Marines 2? I don't know what the operation is. That's not single player. I think that's more multiplayer. I don't remember what operations are.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think that's the multiplayer mode where it's like the extra missions or whatever. I'll be honest with you. I loved Space Marine 2, but I'm probably not going to jump back in to play this for this update or whatever. Just because I never really did any of the multiplayer stuff and didn't really have much of an interest in it. So for me, it's like I'm just content to let the game sort of sit in my memory as a positive experience and then just wait for the either like a single player expansion or like another entry, which we know they're working on. So I can be excited for that.
Yeah, very good. This is hilarious. I titled this show. So as we're doing the show, I'm trying to come up with AI imagery, and I thought it was funny. We're going to talk about Marathon in a minute, and I titled it Marathong Song, which I think is hilarious, like the thong song. And I went to AI art, and I literally typed a robot running a marathon wearing a thong playing a video game. And it said I violated one of their generation things, and I have to retitle my prompt. And I'm like, come on! So I don't think you guys are gonna get a
wearing a thong is that it?
Yeah. So I got rid of thong, and now I'm writing because I think it would be funny. I'm hoping because AI has a tendency to gravitate towards imagery already on the internet. So I put a sexy robot running a marathon playing a video game. I want a robot in a thong. So I'm trying to generate this shit for. Nope. It says you request activator or safety filters.
Could you say like a Speedo or like a swimsuit or something like that?
Yeah, a robot in a swimsuit. That's a good idea. Running a marathon, playing a video game. Jake, you're a genius. Let's see what it comes up with in a minute. All right, so moving forward. Next news point, Death Stranding 2. They are apparently reinventing the way that they're going to handle their boss battles. They're going to give the player an option to skip the boss fight. If you die during the boss fight, you're going to get the option to replay, quit, load game, and also continue. And apparently, you can choose to continue the story. And as a result, you're going to get some sort of novel-like presentation with screenshots or whatever imagery from the battle with text narrating the battle that happened. Then they're going to permit you to read through that and then progress the game if you're having difficulty fighting the boss, which is interesting. Never heard of such a thing. So,
I mean, Kojima's all about the narrative, so I'll be honest with you. I know a lot of people maybe are a little bit offended by this, but I'm totally down with games that allow you to sort of break the gameplay component in favor of the story as an option. I don't think that should be the default, but I don't think that there's any problem in having like a story mode difficulty where like it's like impossible to die almost or something like that.
Right.
But you still get the experience, but it shouldn't be the standard. I think that everybody should try to play the game as it was intended on normal mode, blah, 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 blah. That's what I always try to do, is play it on the normal difficulty, how the developer wants it. But, if there's a game that's like a really story-heavy experience and I just want to know what happens and it's very theatrical and movie and cinematic-esque like Kojima stuff, I think it's totally within reason to be like, hey, here's this button, here's this prompt, here's this option that allows you to skip this really hard section and just continue on to the next story beat. And I'm totally okay with that. Now, I understand why, it doesn't work for something like Elden Ring or something, because it's like all about the gameplay as the story and the environment and everything. But for something like this, a Kojima game, even like a Last of Us game or something like that, totally down with this concept. And that part of that too is just me getting older and not having as much time to play games and not wanting to beat my head against a wall on a fight for hours on end to get to the next story. But I think that this is totally great option. I don't think it should as a rule thing, but I think it's a nice option for gamers to have, even from an accessibility perspective.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not against it. And back to the title of the story, Marathon gameplay was revealed. We knew that was going to happen. And the game is now announced as being released September 23rd this year. And the game is a squad-based extraction shooter, which we already knew. I watched the gameplay video. The gameplay itself, like the gunplay and stuff, looked actually really slick and comparable to Destiny 2, but I already think there's a lot of pushback on what people have seen. I don't think people are very excited about what was released. So I mean, everybody's mad about everything. I don't really know that they're gonna win literally anything. But dude, did you see like the cinematic trailer, like the story trailer? I don't think I did.
It was fucking awesome. It was so good. Yeah. It's literally just a cinematic trailer where it's like kind of following a couple of these player characters and sort of giving you a little bit of a glimpse into sort of like the themes of the game from a narrative perspective. And it was really cool. The imagery is awesome. I love the art style. The music is really good. I highly recommend when you get a free chance. It's like 8 minutes long. Just look it up. They released it like around the same time as the gameplay reveal. And then they also at the same time released I think it was like 20 minutes long or something, where it was like they invited a bunch of influencers to play the game like a little while ago. And they did like this whole thing where they're like, showing these influencers playing the game. It's a little bit more of a deep dive into what the game really is and how people play it from a more like linear perspective, and not necessarily from this like snap, jump cut kind of thing like the trailer is. And it seems pretty interesting. I don't know if it's going to be for me. I want it's one of those games where like I want to play it. Yeah. But I just don't know, like, as a distraction shooter, if it's going to be for me, because I'm just not a multiplayer gamer. Like Destiny, I could play that game by myself. I can run around, do my own thing, play it by myself, not a big deal. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do that in Marathon, because it's like, yeah, you drop into this world. There's a lot of PvE elements. You can kind of go in, get stuff, get out or whatever. But there's also like other players in there trying to kill you and steal your shit and stuff. And like, that's not really an easy thing to sort of wrap your head around from a single player perspective. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. And I'm also kind of curious if it's going to cost money, because I don't know if they've mentioned that. Have they?
I don't know that they have mentioned it. I'm actually not sure at all. So yeah, it's in the air right now. I don't, unless I missed it, which is very possible. I'm looking at some of these images; they're hilarious.
But yeah, I definitely recommend anyone who hasn't yet, like maybe play reveal, but if you haven't seen the cinematic thing, go watch it. It is super fucking cool.
Cool.
Even as like a little short film, yeah. It's awesome.
I'll check it out. All right, next news point. Mafia: The Old Country release date was leaked for August 8th, 2025. The information came way of the publisher, 2K, who accidentally revealed this on a post they had on Steam. So it wasn't intentional, but it leaked. So that's cool. I mean, I like the Mafia games. I haven't played any of the remasters. I remember remember historically playing them and enjoying them, but I don't really remember the stories. I don't really remember the gameplay. I remember they were like kind of like a pseudo open world game, but it felt very linear, at least the ones that I played. And I don't know what to expect from this new game. And it's also I don't think GTA 6. We don't know. I'm guessing it's going to come out closer to Christmas time. So maybe this is a safe time to release this. I don't know, though. You know what I mean? Jake, what do you think?
I think this game looks cool. Like, it's a different sort of, like time period and a different sort of like setting and a different sort of like vibe for like these open world kind of. But I think did they say this game's going to be a little bit more linear? Like, I don't remember, but I feel like it's going to be maybe a little bit more linear than like a blown open GTA game or something. Mm-hmm. But Take-Two's also doing GTA, so you know that if this game's coming out in the early August, that GTA is not going to be coming that soon, which I guess makes sense.
Right.
I would imagine that GTA is probably not happening for another, at least like maybe a month after this. So you can, I guess, take what you will with that, but I don't know. The trailers that I've seen of it look cool, and I'm definitely interested in it. And if I don't have anything else going on around that time, I may be curious about giving it a shot. I'm just interested to know if there's any reason for me to have played the other games, because I've never played a Mafia game before. I'm not playing that definitive edition of the first one because we got it on PS Plus or something like that.
Yeah.
But I just haven't done it. So we'll have to see if it's something that I actually jump into. But I will say that as of right now, I'm definitely interested in it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks cool, and I'm interested. It doesn't mean that I'm going to play it, but it does mean that it should be something that we should all have our eyes on. And moving forward, Jake, with the Masters being a thing that just happened, Rory McIlroy took the green jacket, and golf related. I didn't know if you knew this, but EA's PGA Tour is now a free PS Plus extra game. So if you're looking to get your hands on a golf game, a more recent golf game than what you have in your library, you can play this game, and so can the listeners if you have PS Plus extra. But I thought that was kind of cool. Any interest in that?
I was actually, when I saw that this was coming out, I was thinking about downloading it. Mm-hmm. Because it's been a long time since I've played a golf game that's not, that wasn't everybody's golf. I think the last time I played a golf game was, what was that one that we all bought? It was like PGA Tour 2012, the Masters, or maybe something like that. And I think it was you, me, and Josh maybe played around. Maybe it was just me and you. I don't remember. But I kind of got the itch to maybe play a little bit of a golf game now, given that the weather's opening up and stuff. But it's still a little bit early for me to want to go golfing, just with the fact that the weather's so volatile still. The courses can still be a little bit soft, which makes it a little bit difficult. But yeah, I'm interested in playing this for sure.
Cool, as you should be. 3 more news points. The PS Portal has gotten a system update to improve PS Plus cloud streaming, and it seems like they just keep pushing this initiative. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I am saying it's probably a good thing, actually. But I haven't used it. I have a Portal. I don't have cloud streaming because I'm not a super user or whatever that third tier is called. So I have
premium
zero experience of using that. So, but that's nice they're doing that. I don't think there's really anything else to say on that. And moving on to 2 more things. The Last of Us Season 2 has now officially aired. The first episode's out, and it's on HBO. It's been renewed for a 3rd season. And We were gonna
watch it.
Go ahead.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't.
You didn't watch first episode?
I don't have HBO. I don't have it.
Oh, you don't?
No, sucks.
To be completely honest with you, I don't want to throw a wet blanket on it, but I was kind of underwhelmed by the first episode.
Yeah.
But I think that the reason is, and we talked about this a little bit last week or the week before that, Bella is not good as Ellie as an older Ellie as she's supposed to be in this season. This is supposed to be 5 years after the last season.
Yeah.
And she looks identical. She still looks like a child.
Yep.
And it really sort of... Now, I'm sure to people who have no experience with the game, they have no experience with the way that we experienced it. Mm-hmm. It probably doesn't matter to them. They probably don't care. It's probably totally fine. They probably expect, like, season to season, the characters to look relatively the same. And they do a little bit to make kind of look a little bit older with, like, her look and stuff, but she still looks very much like Bella Ramsey.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit disappointing to me. That I was so... Now, I'm sure I'll get used to it, but I was a little bit just kind of put off in the first episode by the aesthetic. That said, no spoilers, but the first episode follows the beginning of the game almost exactly.
Huh.
So I am very curious if they're going to keep it and do the deed when they did it in the game from the story's perspective.
Yeah.
Or if they're going to rearrange the order of operations to accommodate maybe some viewer sensibilities. I don't know. But if you get a chance to watch it, I could probably even give you my login if you wanted to watch it, just to stay current. Or you can wait till it's all over and binge it all in a few days. But I was not intending on doing like a weekly spoiler cast this time around.
Yeah. Well, we discussed it. You and I discussed it, but if we didn't generate traffic to our podcast like we had hoped we did. What's funny is I don't even know how this stuff happens. Like my dad got a hold of me, and this didn't happen with anybody in my circle last season. He got a hold of me and he goes, "Hey, you watching The Last of Us?" And I'm like, "That's based on a video game." And he goes, "Yeah, I remember you talking about it." And I go, "No, I'm not watching." He goes, "Well, I'm surprised." He goes, "We're 3 episodes in." And I go, "The second season?" And he goes, No, we're just starting the first season now. And I'm like, "Wow, that's interesting." I said, "Because there's a second season out." And he goes, "Oh, I didn't realize." So, and I'm like, I said, "Jake and I did a spoiler episode on every single TV show. You should listen to those in between, and I think you'll appreciate it." And he goes, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Maybe I'll check it out." So here's someone who's completely outside of the gaming world. Through some sort of subtle advertising or something now, he and my mother are watching the first season of The Last of Us, not realizing that a second season's out, and they just finished episode 4, and they're loving it. So, as expected, this is driving interest. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. I hope your dad listens to our podcast. That'd be so fucking funny.
That would be hilarious.
But if they get to the second season, you should go watch it with them. I think I think that it would be good for us to, at least at the end of the second season, maybe do some kind of a chat about it.
Yeah.
But we definitely don't need to do every single episode.
I agree.
Like Sarah, because we watched it right when it came out, and Sarah was like, I'm surprised you don't want to go through the first season again, because we typically do that when a new season of a show we like comes out. We'll watch through the whole show up to that point to catch up, and then whatever. And I was like, you know what, we can, but I'm so familiar with the story of the first Last of Us that I don't really need to watch it. And then we watched, we got halfway through the first episode, the second season. Kind of wish I'd rewatched the first season, not because I don't remember the story and everything that happens, just to get refamiliarized with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey and the vibe of the show versus the vibe of the video. Because even though they're similar, there are some differences that you have to get used to, especially the way that the show is built aesthetically. It's very, very well done, but I think I would not have been so put off by Bella Ramsey in the first episode of season 2 had I actually just got done rewatching season 1. So, sorry, a cat just jumped up on my desk.
Oh, you're fine.
But yeah. Anyway, that's all I say about that. But it's interesting that they. You knew that they were going to do season 3. I mean, Neil already said that it was going to take 2 seasons to do The Last of Us Part 2. And so I think they were just looking for confirmation from early previews and the reception episode and stuff for them to make it official. But, you almost could have probably bet your life savings that it was going to happen.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm glad that they're seeing it through. I really just wish that, I don't know. I don't know what I wish. And I don't know. I want to watch it, and I want it to be good, but just hearing what you had to say about it, knowing that you have a pretty open mind about casting and stuff, I'm sure I'm going to feel similar about it. You know what I mean?
It doesn't mean, to be clear, that does not mean it wasn't good, but it's it's just... you've seen Abby and you've seen all of these characters, and it's okay, they are inspired by the game for sure. Yeah. But there are definitely differences in the way that they look aesthetically.
Well, I mean, that's just what's going to happen, I suppose. You can't, I don't know. You can't expect the cat. You can't expect them to nail the Ellie look. But at the same time, I kind of think that I don't know. They could have done better. I don't know. As far as the look. The aging of it.
And there was a little bit of, I don't know. The character, that woman that you sent a picture of last week or the week before that, she would be a good Ellie, but for season 2. But definitely she looks too old to have played season 1. It could have, I get why because it probably would have been a PR hit that they wanted. Mm-hmm. It could have changed the actress for season 2.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting. But I get it.
Your voice is cutting out a little bit. I don't know if it's a connection issue or what. I'm losing you.
Hear me now?
Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
It's still kind of cutting out. I'm not getting an error message on my side. It's a connectivity issue. It's not a microphone issue.
Interesting.
Yeah. But we'll move on to the last news point. It's fine. And then this one was interesting. It kind of popped up out of nowhere. There was that PSVR 2 game called Demio. I think it was also available on Steam. It was like a board game, Hero Quest style thing in virtual reality. And I think some people that I know played it and said it was pretty decent. That studio, or the makers of that game, are sticking with that dungeon crawling gaming experience. And there's a new trailer they released for a game called Grim Keep. One word. And it's going to be a roguelike RPG, but also a dice builder strategy game. The voiceover is kind of akin to the Darkest Dungeon work that Wayne June did. And the artwork is definitely also, in my opinion, inspired by Darkest Dungeon. So this is now on my radar. I don't know if it's going to be a PSVR 2 title or not. I couldn't tell you. But I do think that it looks awesome from what I can see. I think I got our picture. All this finagling. I'll have to send you this picture. It might be a little too risque for YouTube. This is
who cares?
It's not
like we're monetized.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. There's two options, and I kind of want your opinion. Actually, there's three. I like them all. I'll download them real quick, and then I'll upscale them. The one that you want us to use. This has been a fun project. It's so funny to me. But anyway, so that's the deal with this game. Have you seen anything about this game?
I have not, but that Demio game always looked interesting to me. Mm-hmm. It's not something that I probably would want to play, but I love the idea of it. So I'd be curious if they were to make like a Darkest Dungeon-esque game with dice rolling and stuff, but in VR. That would be kind of cool, but you said that they haven't announced if it's a VR game or not.
Right.
Which I could see why they might want to not make it a VR game, or at least make it like VR and flat screen compatible, because I'm sure they didn't make much money on Demio, even though it was a very well-regarded VR game.
Yeah, I don't
VR games very much.
Yeah, I don't think they did. This one's not a good one. I don't think. No. This one's better. So we have two options. Here we go, Jake. You ready? Here's one.
Oh my God.
Here's the other.
What is on her butt?
Oh, that's hilarious. This is the other. I like that because of the head. It's a robot. That's a great marathon.
Yeah,
film, isn't it? The second one's...
what's with the tiny person right in front of
it's hilarious.
Them. Use that one.
Right.
Use that one. That one's so fucking funny. I love the what is it? Is there like a leech on the butt, or like what is going on? And then there's like a... Yeah. They look like they're like wrapped in like what do they call that shit that they put on tattoos after you get one?
Yeah, it's
like saran wrap shit.
Yeah, it's like Sanoderm.
Yeah, it like looks like the whole body is covered in that, and like
they're all like slimy.
And it's like the top half of a marathon runner dude, and the bottom half is like a model chick.
Yeah,
it's so fucking funny. And then there's like this little tiny person,
like a little person, like running somehow on the track but off the track. I love it. I'm enhancing it to 4K. That's 4K.
That's funny. That's fucking funny, man. I love it.
I'm using that one. I think it's great. AI is awesome in that regard. I think it's a great laugh. It's just such a good laugh for me. All right. Well, I digress. Anyways, that's the one we're using. We're done with the news. Sorry for the interruption, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We do have some new games to talk about that are coming out this week. And we're going to go right through this real quick. There's quite a few. Forever Skies, April 4th. I'm not going to say the date. They're just coming out this week. Forever Skies on the PS5, Chains of Freedom on the PS5, Finding Frankie on the PS5, Hot Rod Mayhem on the PS5, Lost Records, Bloomin' Rage Tape 2 on the PS5. Will I jump back in? Time will tell. Lush Foil Photography Sim on the PS5, Nicodorico, The Magical World Director's Cut, PS5, Moving Houses, PS5, Bionic Bay, PS5, I, Robot, PS5, weird, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, PS5. Lila on PS5. Madragora, Whispers of the Witch Tree, PS5. Phantom Break Battlegrounds Ultimate, PS5. Rusty Rabbit, PS5. Vinebound, Tangled Together on PS5. And Orphans on PS5. Those are your games coming out this week. Lots of them.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Jake? You got an opinion on this?
Literally like nothing. How can I even know what the fuck any of this stuff is?
Well, either you're...
And there's just so many. I will say, I've heard that, like, I saw a headliner or an article or something that was saying that Bloom and Rage Tape 2 takes kind of a dark turn. So I'm kind of interested in, how that finishes up and whether or not you like it or not.
Yeah.
I kind of hope you do play it at some point because I want to get, like, your official stamp of approval one way or another before I jump into it. Because what you were saying about, like, all the minigame shit in the first episode, like, I really didn't jive with my interest. But, like, if the story is good enough, I might be willing to kind of cut through that to get to the meat and potatoes. But the Indiana Jones, obviously amazing. iRobot, I have no idea. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a version, or like it doesn't look like it's a game based on the Asimov book. It looks like it's like a take on like a classic arcade game, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is, yeah, it's completely, it's like a weird like arcade kind of game. It looks kind of interesting, but anywho,
yeah.
I have no other.
Cool. Very good. I'm trying to figure out what this is. Is this episode 373? It is. That's crazy. Yeah. All right. Well, I got nothing else, man.
Dude, we'll hit we'll hit 400 before the end of the year,
which is wild.
Pretty crazy. 400 episodes of the podcast.
Yeah, that's wild to me. And only, I don't know. I guess.
I don't know.
What do you think? I think we're growing as a podcast, but we're not. We're not getting huge yet. You know?
Yeah.
I ain't huge. Working on it.
Not the next, favorite murder or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not.
Could be.
We're not the next Witcher, but you know.
Do you remember that show? With Dick Van Dyke called Diagnosis Murder?
No.
Where he was like a doctor that solved murders.
Mm-mm.
It was a show from like the 90s.
That sounds awesome.
I don't know. I was thinking of like when my murder came up in my brain, that like it immediately jumped to Diagnosis Murder with Dick Van Dyke. So if anybody else remembers that, give me a shout because that show is awesome.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, that's it for the show. I appreciate everybody tuning in again. We air every Wednesday. Apologies for any audio issues we had today. I know Jake's mic from time to time was cutting out. I think you guys got the gist, though, of everything he was saying. I did. So if you didn't, there's something wrong with you. Thanks for bearing with us. You get what you pay for. We're here. It's a labor of love. And that's been episode 373 of PS This Is Awesome, the Marathong song. And like Dance Dance Revolution, Dark Colony, and Delete Everything. PS. This is awesome.
This is awesome.